915.
Mr. Speaker, sir, according to established practice, participation in an official mission of board members or senior management of a public or statutory body is subject to the approval of the relevant parent ministry. In this particular case, I'm informed that no approval has been conveyed by the Honourable Prime Minister for Mr. DNSW to proceed on official mission to France from 21st to 24th February 2022. As such, parts A and B of the question do not arise.
From the acting Prime Minister, who has paid the air ticket? Which authority has paid the air ticket and how much?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part of the question.
Which authority has paid the air ticket and the cost of the air ticket? Whether he has been informed of that?
Well, I'm given to understand that this was not an official mission, and therefore Mr. DNSW, inasmuch as he travelled privately, would be responsible for any costs attendant to his trip.
The acting Prime Minister, he has stated that he, with this chairperson, travelled privately. Can he inform the House whether during that private trip, which he has effected, he had meetings, official meetings, on behalf of the ICTA with French authorities, French organizations, and whether reports have been forwarded to the parent ministry on these so-called meetings he had during his private trip.
So again, I didn't hear clearly the last question. Have reports been
circulated to the parent ministry, to the Prime Minister's office?
So again, for a private trip, there is no need for reports to be circulated to the parent ministry. But inasmuch as the question was asked, I have inquired, and this is what my information indicates. Both at personal level and at institutional level, there is a long relationship of friendship and a working relationship between the regulatory authority in Mauritius, that is the ICTA, and regulatory authorities in France, that is the Autorité de régulation des communications électroniques et des postes, l'ARCEP, the Agence nationale des fréquences, the ANFR, and the Autorité de régulation de la communication audiovisuelle et numérique, l'ARCOM. Now, accordingly, in the course of his visit to France, I understand that Mr. DNSW would have met Mr. Gilles Brégan, the General Director of ANFR, and Mr. Jean-Pierre Lepesteur, its chairperson, as well as Mrs. Laure de la Rodière, President of ARCEP, and Mr. Roch-Olivier Mestre, President of ARCOM, in the course of that trip.
Can I ask the acting Prime Minister to inquire through the Prime Minister's office whether the Finance Department of the ICTA issued purchasing order to one travel agency for the purchase of the air tickets of the part-time chairperson, Mr. DMSW?
I will repeat what I said, Mr. Speaker, sir, inasmuch as this was a private trip. Neither government nor the ICTA will or has been responsible for any attendant cost.